Real Virginia is produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Become a Farm Bureau member today.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and all the people who produce the wonderful foods we enjoy.
Local CSAs are becoming more popular every year. We'll tell you how to find one near you. And the Virginia's Finest trademark is your guarantee for the best the state has to offer. We'll take a look at the brand and what it means to producers.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here at Virginia Gourmet and Virginia Finest Market in Williamsburg, Virginia. It is a wonderful place to find all things Virginia Finest, and we're going to talk a little bit about that brand later on in our show. But first, let's talk about the new year and resolutions. And I know you folks have made it, maybe to eat healthier, exercise more, perhaps even purchase more locally produced foods. Well, as Norm Hyde reports, it's the perfect time to sign up for a community-supported agriculture share.
CSA operations have been around for a while now. The concept's quite simple and popular. Consumers sign up for the next growing season in the winter, giving local growers the information and funding they need to plan their operations.
Now's the time when you pay your money up front and then you get a weekly box of seasonal vegetables.
Catherine Bertoni and her family are getting ready for their 10th growing season at Appalachian Star Farm in Nelson County. Operations like this are available across Virginia. There are as many flavors of local foods as there are customers, and it's easier than ever to take delivery of their products.
There's some other clubs where you can purchase online and they will usually deliver to various pickup locations where you go pick up your order.
Anyone with computer access can find and join a local CSA, and Bertoni says they're more popular than ever.
There are some farms who band together and do a group CSA where you can offer other products besides what you grow on your own farm. We do our CSA pickup at the farmers market. So you can come to our stand and pick up your share, and then while you're there, you can shop at the other stands at the market.
Raising and enjoying fresh vegetables is as timeless as civilization itself, but there's also a modern twist to CSAs these days. Bertoni and other growers have harvested the power of social media to make it easier for everyone to plan their meals and feel like they're part of the CSA community.
We have a website, we have a Facebook page where we post pictures and updates about what's going to be at market or what's going to be in the CSA share.
If you'd like to reconnect to the land and join a local CSA, check websites like localharvest.org, buylocalvirginia.org, virginiagrown.com, and virginiafarmbureau.org to find a farmer's market or CSA near you. CSA shares typically run about $500 for a year's subscription. In Nelson County, Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde. Tucked in just east of the Blue Ridge Mountains near the center of Virginia is Nelson County. Farmers in this scenic area raise hay on more than 12,000 acres and have 12,500 head of cattle and calves. Total agricultural income for the county comes to $12.5 million. It's also home to a number of large apple orchards, nursery operations, and wineries. And there's also a thriving number of farmers raising vegetables and fruits for sale in Nelson County, Virginia.
You can save money when planning your garden for next summer by storing your plants indoors during the winter. Mark Viette shows us how in the garden.
Many of our tropical plants won't survive our harsh winters outdoors. So we can go late in the season and dig these and save and store them during the winter months, so when you plant them next year, you start out with a much bigger plant. This here is a giant canna. As you can see, it's like 7 or 8 feet tall. And all you want to do late in the season is go ahead and dig it. It's not hard. Well, it might look hard. And usually what I do is just dig a part of the plant, not the whole plant, like this. And here we are. It's that easy. What I like to do, which I may not have mentioned, is get all the plants together at once. You know, take them out of the garden, take them out of the containers. Like we dug this giant canna, this is really easy. All you have to do is come in and cut the stems to about 2 inches. You can put those in your compost pile, makes great compost. And then you can shake, and sometimes I'll trim off any really giant roots that I don't need. Now this can be packed and stored the way it is, but what I like to do is bring in a knife and just come in and cut it. This is one plant right here, and what I will do is let this one dry, and then I'll go through. It's easier to pack if you have slightly smaller plants. Here's another one. You can also share these with your friends and just set them out on the table, let them dry off, and in a couple hours we'll be ready to pack them. One reason I like to overwinter and store these plants is they can be pretty expensive in the spring. You can go out and try to find one of these red bananas, and it easily could be like $30 for one of these in a small pot. Also, you can purchase the giant elephant ears. And wow, these get big. These are one of my favorite plants for containers. And to get these big, giant leaves, it's important that you get a big bulb or a bulb that's a couple years old. And they, again, could be $15 to $20 just buying these in the spring in the bulb section. So all I do is come in here with a knife. A meat cleaver really works well at the same time. And just come and cut right above the crown. Pull these apart. And this is a colocasia, a beautiful plant that you can put in a garden or put in containers after the cold weather has passed during the winter months. Once your plants are ready to be packed, all you need to do is get a nice cardboard box, some peat moss. Now you don't want to use super dry peat moss or super wet peat moss, just moderate moisture. Just go in, get your peat moss, put a nice 2 or 3 inch layer in the box. Then you take your plants and put a nice layer on top of the peat. Then you get more peat moss, 2 or 3 inches, and you put another layer. Then you put another layer of peat, so you just alternate till the box is filled. Once you've finished packing all your plants, all you have to do is seal the box and a piece of tape. But the one thing you do need to do is put a couple holes, but not too deep, so you damage the plant. So I usually just come through after it's filled, just like that. And you need to store it between 45 and 55 degrees. 50 degrees is great, a cool basement or a cool closet. That's all you need to do to save your bulbs and plants for next year. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
You can find more garden tips at inthegardenradio.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Mullins, and today on From the Ground Up, we're going to show you how to grow fish and plants in your greenhouse. Please stay tuned.
All-terrain vehicles are a lot of fun and have become very popular in rural Virginia. An ATV is versatile and is used for a variety of purposes. But it's important to never carry a passenger unless the ATV is specifically designed to carry riders. An extra rider can distract the driver and throw the ATV off balance. Operate your ATV safely. And remember,
no extra riders.
To learn more about ATV safety, contact Virginia Farm Bureau at vafb.com.
Eating healthy means increasing fresh vegetables in your diet. And a great way to do that is to have edamame burgers. Kendra Bailey Morris has a great spin on this recipe in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Kendra Bailey Morris for Heart of the Home, and we're here in Sir Latab's kitchen in Richmond, Virginia. And today we're going to be working with edamame, Virginia edamame, which are soybeans. And we're going to make a Greek-style edamame and white bean burger topped with a homemade tzatziki sauce, if I can say that correctly. Tzatziki sauce, which is a yogurt and cucumber and garlic sauce. So this is a little twist on a typical veggie burger. This is not your average one. So we're going to start by, in our food processor, we're going to add some of the edamame. And now some white beans. And these basically help to act as a binder. The beans are really, really healthy. I'm also going to add some onion. This is going to be your very protein-rich dish. And I have some fresh herbs here I'm going to throw in. You could throw in any herbs that you happen to have in your garden. In this case, I've got some oregano, which is very typical in Greek cuisine, and also some basil. I'm just going to toss it in. You don't really need to chop it up too much. And also I've got some garlic, because you can't have Greek cooking without a good amount of garlic. A lot of times people have difficulty having their burgers stay intact when they're frying them. And these are steel cut oats, and these are really, really great for helping hold your burger together and act as a binder. And my other binder I'm going to add in here are 2 egg whites. Now we're going to pulse this mixture together. And what you're looking for is a creamy consistency, but you also want some chunks in there from the beans, so there'll be a little bit of texture. And I'm just going to check this real quick. Periodically, as you're doing this, you'll want to scrape down the sides so everything blends evenly. And you can see that I'm starting to get a creamy bean-like consistency. At this point, I'm also going to add a little bit of salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon or so, or to taste, whatever you like, and some coarse black pepper. All right, that looks good. At this point, I'm just going to remove the blade and scrape the contents into a bowl. And this is the consistency that you're going for. Creamy, but still texturally appealing. I'm going to wet my hands before I go ahead and roll these, or I guess make them into little patties rather than roll them. And that just helps it not to stick to your hands. So I've got my burgers all nice and patted out, and what you're going to want to do now is you can cover them in plastic wrap and chill them for about 30 minutes. And this is a very important step that you don't want to overlook, because if you just take them while they're at room temperature and throw them into the pan, they're going to crumble and fall apart. So this really helps them to set up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and we'll be right back. Here we have one of the chilled burgers, and you can see that it holds together really nicely. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fry this in a medium-high pan with a little bit of olive oil. And while that's cooking, I'm going to make our tzatziki sauce. And what I have here is some Greek yogurt. This is fat-free Greek yogurt, and this actually makes it healthier. Again, in typical Greek culinary tradition, I'm going to put a good amount of garlic. And you're probably wondering why I'm holding a zester, and I really love to zest my garlic. It gives it an incredible aroma and flavor in your cooking, unlike minced, and you don't have little bits and pieces of it. So I'm just going to use a zester here for my garlic. I'm also going to add a little lemon juice. These are all, again, very traditional flavors in Greek cooking. About a teaspoon or so you can add as much as you like, depending. I'm also going to throw in some fresh mint. Give this a little stir. I've got a little bit of cumin. I'm going to throw that in there. And then here I have some cucumber that I have diced up. You can grate it, but one thing you want to make sure that you do is squeeze as much water out of it as possible, because that way you won't have a pool of water on top of your yogurt later on, especially if you do this overnight. This is a great dip, by the way, if you want to dip pita chips in it or fresh vegetables. It's really, really nice. We have some lovely extra virgin olive oil I'm going to pour in here. Okay, that looks great. I'm going to continue frying my burger, and we'll be right back to assemble our final Greek burger. so we've got our burger going. You can see that it's nice and crispy on both sides. I've cooked it about 5 minutes on each side. You want to make sure that it obviously cooks all the way through because it does have egg whites in it. And I know when people think about burgers, they think about grilling. I can't say that I recommend this for the grill. If you want to give it a try, you can give it a try. But what I definitely recommend is doing this in a pan in a little bit of oil, just because it has a tendency to crumble if you put it on something like grates or really high heat like a barbecue grill would not necessarily cook it evenly on all the way through. And I'm going to begin by layering this. I'm going to put a little bit of red onion on the bottom. This is just the way that I like to do it. You can do it however you like. And then I'm going to layer my burger here. Turn off my heat. And what I've got here are a couple of pieces of feta cheese. And I'm just going to lay these on top. And then I'm going to finally add a smear of some of this tzatziki. It's a tongue twister. Add as much or as little as you like. Finally, I'm going to top this with a couple of tomatoes. And here you have it. Greek-style edamame burger with white beans topped with tzatziki sauce and feta cheese and tomato and red onion. It's delicious and it's healthy. You won't miss the meat. I'm Kendra Bailey Morris for Heart of the Home. Let's get cooking.
Recipes from the heart of the home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.
Most of us can change our food spending habits in ways that make each food dollar go further and still improve nutrition. Just be sure to do your homework before heading to your local market. Plan your meals for each day of the week and buy only what you need to prepare those meals. Check local newspapers for ads on special sales. Clip coupons. Use mypyramid.org to plan nutritious meals and snacks from fresh foods produced locally. Plan the use of leftovers. According to the latest USDA statistics, while Americans enjoy the most economical food supply in the world, our farmers' share of the food dollar is only 11.6%.
We take you indoors now at Virginia State University with Chris Mullins talking all about greenhouse aquaponics from the ground up.
Hi, and welcome to From the Ground Up. I'm Chris Mullins, and today we're at Virginia State University's Randolph Farm in Petersburg, Virginia. Today we're going to be talking about aquaponics. And aquaponics is the combination of hydroponic plant production and raising fish indoors. Behind me you see lettuce growing in a hydroponic system. In this system, nutrient solution is pumped through the plants and they're fed that way. This is a pretty common production system for lettuce all around the United States and in the state of Virginia. And you can find this type of lettuce in your local grocery store. But the second part of this system is the fish culture, and we're going to see that next. The tanks that you see behind me are filled with fish, and the wastewater from this system is used to feed the lettuce. This is what's pumped over through that system. The fish that are in this particular tank are tilapia. As you can see here, they're a great fish, and they're also a great fish for aquaculture. They're easy to grow, and they respond very well to these type of systems. Consumers also love the taste of tilapia. And this might seem like a system altogether that only large growers can do, but this is something that the home or hobby grower can do also. Why don't we look now at some hobby systems that you might be able to try at home. This is an example of a home or a hobby type unit. And this is something that a person could have in their Florida room or in their house with a grow light suspended above it and allow them to grow plants year-round. You've got things like romaine lettuce here and bib lettuce, red bib lettuce. And this type of system is used by some home growers. There's a tank there that pumps nutrient solution up through these channels. You can see the channels here. They're just fed with this simple tube. But it all starts with a seed. And we take, in this case, lettuce seed, and we'll put it in these Oasis cubes, or little blocks. We start the seed in here, and the roots grow through that slowly until they're ready to be transplanted. It adds really nothing to the plant in terms of nutrition. We just pop it off like this, and then we can put it right in the system. And now it's in there, and the nutrient solution from the fish is coming up through this tube and it's going to bathe those roots and feed the plant. So for this home unit, this is the fish tank. This holds all the fish. It's just a small tote that you can buy anywhere. Our tilapia are in here, probably anywhere from 15 to 20 tilapia are in here, and they'll grow in this tank the whole time. There's also a heater in here. We need to keep the temperature at around 85 degrees Fahrenheit for the tilapia so that they'll grow and thrive. We also have a pump here that pumps this water up to the plants. It's pumped and it goes through an inline filter to filter out some of the solid material that comes from this tank. And then we also have a drain that comes down through this large pipe and into the fish tank. So all this is a closed loop system. Now this particular system costs about $350, but most growers could use a little bit less expensive materials and probably come up with a system this size for under $50 themselves. For more information about aquaponics, please contact your Cooperative Extension Office. For From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. See you next time.
Did you know when you see this seal on a product in Virginia, you're guaranteed the best the state has to offer? This is the Virginia Finest brand, and in fact, this program has been going on for 24 years and continues to promote agriculture and all the specialty products our state has.
You might see the blue check mark on a jar of honey, on the side of a ham, or even on your favorite bottle of wine. The Virginia Finest trademark program began in 1989 as the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Premier Quality Standards program. Since then, it has grown to endorse more than 1,000 agricultural, food, and beverage companies in the Commonwealth.
We really do have a diverse portfolio of products that are available, but also with the diversity, we've got a number of very high quality producers that are winning awards on the national and international stage.
Earning a Virginia Finest designation takes time and attention to detail. You don't just fill out a form online to get the right to put the logo on your product.
Well, we've got a review committee that takes a look at the products, and it can entail everything from the packaging and labeling, but above and beyond that, you want products that are attractive, not only in packaging and look, but in taste, in texture, and in quality. So, and then we've got a taste test panel for the products to make sure that they're up to the standards of Virginia's finest products.
The producers of Edwards ham have used the quality trademark to boost their sales. Sam Edwards is the third generation in his family to run S. Wallace Edwards & Sons Company. Known worldwide for quality pork products, the company has been in business since 1926. It was one of the first companies to receive a Virginia Finest designation.
I think we're the envy of a lot of states. I have people from Texas, Vermont, California that come to me and say, how did you guys get such a strong organization? I said, well, you have to say the state government did something right. It created a government agency whose focus has been on marketing Virginia-made food products.
Any marketing expert will tell you the key to successful sales is to stand out in the crowd. And Edwards says the Virginia Finest logo does make a difference.
At Edwards, we've tried to focus on the quality side of the product. Having this label and the support of the Virginia Department of Agriculture has helped, number one, get our product out there, give us credibility for those that have never heard of us. But again, that network, it certainly has contributed to the success of being in business for 85 years.
To find everything from biscotti to tofu, go to the Virginia Finest website at vafinest.com.
We're so glad you could celebrate the bounty Virginia has to offer with us. Whether it's in your home, your landscape, or your garden, we are proud to say this is real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a good month.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay.